Now, every day, hundreds of millions of searches are carried out on Chinese language web search engines. And to give you an idea of what's trending amongst Chinese net users, here on China Take, each day we choose a selection of the most popular of those searches. And for our first top search today, we go to Baidu.com and Diaosi advertisement pulled in the US. A lack of Chinese language skills has led to some red faces in New York's Times Square, according to the Xinmin Evening News. A billboard advertising a Chinese online game, The Mythical Realm, used the Chinese phrase or word Diaosi, written in Roman letters and also in Chinese characters. The self-deprecating term is used by young Chinese internet users to describe themselves. Unfortunately, the word Diao is informal slang, for the male reproductive organ. Now, according to the Taiwanese newspaper Want Daily, this young subgroup, cultural subgroup, refer to themselves in this way as Diaosi because they feel marginalized and lack the ability to communicate effectively or indeed to actually change their lives. Whatever the semantics of the phrase, the report says the ad was removed because it violates US regulations on the use of indecent language in commercials. And now Times Square authorities have suspended all Chinese language advertising while they check up to see if any other less than polite words may have slipped through. Meanwhile, She Yuzhu, the chairman of Giant Interactive, that's the company that produces the game, has described himself proudly as a Diaosi, and he said the purpose of this slogan was to target this group. This is the group at whom the game is specifically aimed. Next, we move to 163.com, where we have officials take the lead on eating chicken. According to the World Health Organization, more than 50% of those infected with a new type of bird flu in China, that's H7N9, actually had no contact with poultry, initially thought to be behind the spread of the disease. This fact has raised further questions about whether the virus can, after all, be transmitted between humans. The government's already suspended wild bird sales to prevent the spread of the virus, and there's also a ban on live poultry trading in affected provinces, mostly around the city of Shanghai. And in addition to this, a large number of birds have also been culled. Of course, this is not good news for the poultry industry in China. So to reassure a worried public and to attempt to mitigate the damage to the poultry market, 150 civil servants from the Bureau of Animal Husbandry and Fisheries in Hunan province hosted a banquet recently at which only poultry products were served. These included chili fried chicken, chicken wings, chicken intestines and duck eggs. Meanwhile, Shang Shuofu, the vice deputy of the province, was also reported to be eating chicken. The confidence-building exercises have sparked some discussion online, though, especially as official advice from authorities in many parts of China still says that the public should not eat poultry products for the meantime. Finally, on Weibo.com, we have this search going back to that earthquake in southern China. Ya'an earthquake touching moments. This search relates to a series of touching stories and images posted online on various websites, all coming out of areas affected by that earthquake near the town of Ya'an in Sichuan province. Now, these include, amongst others, the young nurse at Ya'an Hospital, Zhang Yichuan, who insisted on remaining on duty even though her mother had died in the earthquake. A 13-year-old boy and his 12-year-old sister, who used their bare hands to dig their grandmother out of the destroyed remains of their home. An anaesthetist who carried surgery patients on his back to and from the operating theatre. A little girl who gave photojournalists a big smile, even though her head injuries were covered with surgical gauze. A young boy who handed his water bottle to rescue workers walking past. Taxi drivers from Wenchuan, a nearby city that was devastated by a far larger earthquake in 2008, taking relief supplies to Ya'an. And citizens donating blood on the streets, as well as doctors and nurses taking naps in the tents after more than 24 straight hours on duty. All images coming on and being posted online from that earthquake in Ya'an. And that's it for our look at some of the top searches taking place in China today. You're watching China Take. Coming up next, a Chinese blogger on the awkward position he feels Chinese intellectuals find themselves in today.